Victims of an explosion in St. Lucia flown to Martinique for medical treatment. And in sport, changes to Jamaica Scorpions squad ahead of the 8th round game in the Regional 40 Championship against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Wednesday, March 22. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Cabinet met in Tobago recently along with the executive of the Tobago House of Assembly. Here are some of the issues that were on the agenda. Let's get the details in this report.
In recent times, passengers and business people have faced challenges when traveling on the Inter-Island Sea Bridge or shipping their goods. This is set to change. Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles met with Cabinet for an update on this and other issues.
Well, I am not really willing to say that anything is a failure yet. We're going to work extraordinarily hard. You know, we have limited dollars from the government, and that's understandable. But we have a much larger supply of dollars from the private sector and from the faith community.
The death toll from the explosion at a quarry in St. Lucia's capital yesterday has now risen to 4. Some of those left with serious injuries were today flown to neighboring Martinique for medical treatment. Doctors from Martinique are also at the Victoria Hospital in St. Lucia to assist. The explosion occurred at Farrand Quarry operated by Renu Construction in cul-de-sac Castries as workers were welding a container which had dynamite. Prime Minister Alan Chastanet has called on the nation for prayer and support for the families of those impacted by the incident. He also thanked the emergency personnel and police and fire officers who responded to the incident, as well as the staff, nurses and doctors at the Victoria Hospital who treated the injured. He said some of them had come out without being called and had worked overtime to attend to the injured. Guyana has prevented 2,000 cartons of tuna imported from China from entering the country over questions about their labels and origin. The label looked similar to the Brunswick brand of tuna, but had the word Buick instead. And the government analyst Food and Drug Department said the exact address of the manufacturer in the country of origin was not stated. The department has written to the Commissioner of Customs to suspend the processing of documents of a known third-party agent out of the United States that knowingly and deliberately facilitates the importation of products into Guyana that are standard and or are with inadequate labels. Now, the authorities have also advised consumers to scrutinize labels themselves to ensure the country of origin and the exact name and address of manufacturers are stated. Meantime, the number of Caribbean countries placing a temporary ban on the importation of corned beef and other meat products from Brazil is increasing. Barbados and the Bahamas have joined Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica in implementing the ban on the heels of allegations in Brazil that several companies were selling rotten and salmonella-tainted meats. Officials in the Bahamas say that until further notice, no permits for the importation of processed meat from products from Brazil will be issued. The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources said it would continue to monitor this issue over the next 60 days. Meanwhile, Barbados has implemented its own temporary ban, with Senior Veterinary Officer Dr. Mark Trotman indicating that it will be in effect pending further investigation as to whether any of the tainted products had reached the island. In Trinidad and Tobago now, there's a call for Education Minister Anthony Garcia and Minister of State in his ministry, Dr. Lovell Francis, to be fired. It comes from former Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, who says mismanagement of the education system is leading to an increase in bullying and violence in schools.
We have a crisis in the education sector.
Following reports of school violence in Miaro and bullying at Santa Rita, Former Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi Singh says he's concerned about how the sector is being managed.
Blames are being apportioned to students, to teachers, to the Teaching Service Commission, and whoever by the Ministry of Education.
But Dr. Gopi Singh says there's no one else to blame but the Education Minister himself and his colleague, Dr. Lovell Francis. Dr. Gopi Singh explained that the former People's Partnership Administration introduced a number of programs designed to reduce bullying and violence in schools, but he laments that many of them have been reduced or removed. As a result, he's calling on the Prime Minister to fire Garcia and Dr. Francis.
He must seriously consider appointing a competent Minister of Education. You cannot have a woodworking teacher as a Minister of Education and expect gains and significant gains.
Gopi Singh, who was a practicing gynecologist when he was appointed minister, believes that failure to remove Garcia will be to the detriment of students.
That report from Ria Rambali of CNC3 News. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Jamaica Scorpions have made 4 changes in the squad for the 8th round Regional 4-Day Championship game against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force starting Friday. Now, missing will be the trio of fast bowler Jerome Taylor, wicketkeeper Chadwick Walter, and all-rounder Rovman Powell, who link up with the West Indies squad in Barbados today to prepare for the upcoming T20 series against Pakistan. Batsman Shakaya Thomas has also been omitted, reportedly with passport problems. As replacement, selectors have called up John Campbell, Trevon Griffith, Orane Williams, and fast bowling all-rounder Derval Green. Williams is the only one of the 4 without national senior team experience. Scorpions have found themselves in a slump, losing their last 2 games since the restart of the competition. They went down by 7 wickets to leaders Guyana Jaguars in the 6th round, and then by 34 runs to Leeward Islands Hurricanes last weekend. They now lie 3rd on 78.6 points. The last 3 games of the season will be away fixtures. And meanwhile, Antigua and Barbuda's Cricket Association President Leon Rodney has criticized the Sabina Park pitch and called on the West Indies Cricket Board to pay closer attention to the preparation of the pitches for the ongoing Regional 4-Day Championship. His call comes after Leeward Islands Hurricanes beat Jamaica Scorpions by 34 runs at the venue in a low-scoring affair that ended on the 3rd day. Now, despite the abandonment of the first day due to rain, both teams were dismissed below 100 in their first innings, with Hurricanes managing 133 in the second innings and Scorpions falling for 114 in pursuit of their 149 for victory in the last innings of the day-night fixture. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.